the effect the refugees have on host countries. Thank you.
So now, let me ask you a question. Are you ignoring all these people's rights and just prioritizing the refugees' rights? You're just ignoring all of the population that's left, that's not refugees.
No, we're not. As we have continually stated, there's not much harm caused by the refugee and the benefits of it completely are wasted. First, there's a very low possibility of terrorists. Second, as I stated in my third speech, they won't steal much job, and Europe actually needs those refugees. So by having a refugee, the country's economic can improve, and like the Europe economic can be stable, which will surely increase the citizens.
But however, you don't have examples about how they will improve, and you don't have the details. You don't give me the exact details about how they will improve and boost the economy, and how will they pay the taxes. Do you have those details?
Yes, because all those refugees only take about 15%. Like they actually make 25% of them are actually entrepreneurs. They create 1.5 million jobs yearly. But what you said about it's in construction speech, they said about was migrants, not refugees. No, they also refugees.
Migrants are not refugees. As we defined, the refugees are people who have fled from war or persecution. But migrants, they're just seeking for better job opportunities and move to other countries to live. So that doesn't count as a refugee. So you have a wrong definition of refugee. And let me ask you another question. Do you think that the impact that a terrorist brings to the country is small or big?
Small, relatively small, because even if we, according to NATO, whenever we take 3.6 billion refugees, however there's only 1.4 million refugees right now, there is only one terrorist out of 3.6 billion. That risk is simply too small. And we cannot just, can we weigh the impact? One is saving 3.6 billion lives, one is this they're all terrorists. But how do you think of the other in low commerce? They have a very low cost of crime. And if you're being robbed by a refugee, how will you feel?
I have to state that, like Europe, the working age.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Like the Europe's working age population is aging, so they don't even have jobs to fill these low income. Like the low income jobs are also becoming vacant and refugees.
And also, like the process with selecting refugees is a UN process, and they do restrict background checks and security checks before they send the refugees into the country.
So you admitted that there are background checks and criminal record checks before they enter the country. So you're just admitting that there should be refugee restrictions. Because you said
refugee restriction only matters in numbers.
You still have 20 seconds. Time's up.
Definitely, a point's ready, so my time starts now. First of all, I'll say about our definition. Our opponent didn't define what is caused a refugee restriction, so they agree with us in this point. And what they said in the brain crossfire doesn't work. And then about your contention one. Your contention one is saying refugee can bring the beneficial in the economy. But you also said about the job vacancies which happen in the U.S. and Europe. But aren't you sure that all those job vacancies can help the 68 million refugees in the whole world? I don't think so. And also, your confusion between migrants and refugees still exists in your grant profile. So the point about economy loss in this way. Your second contention didn't seem to work for all the time, so nobody takes up opportunity in that. And your third contention is about was there having food or camps or like things. But you can't give out the better solution about the refugee camps, so you can't support yourself in that point as well. So let's move to our contention. Our contention one is about national interest should be prioritized. Step A is about the welfare system, which is a clash between your contention one. But we have already said about the low-incomers in the Netherlands and its impact and its brought to the countries they can't mainly pay for those taxes. And also step B is about security problems. Though the terrorist is in a very low possibility, but they make huge impact. They make hate, they make protestation, they make people want the refugees to get out of them. So the refugee restriction can solve the problem by having those background checks. And also we said about the sovereignty, which is you never rebut in your whole speech. So you agree with us in this point. So according to our friend, I think we should win. Thank you, Judge. Everybody ready? Time starts now. As a fourth speaker of the con team, I'll summarize the whole debate. I first want to clarify. If you accept all refugees, it counts as having no restriction. And blocking the terrorists from the country is not a refugee restriction. And also, we do care about the citizens because the refugees make up the labor forces and they're making things cheaper, which allows the citizens to buy things cheaper and better. And also, the refugees pays a lot of taxes that goes into the education of citizens, that goes into the Medicare. And also, we have proven that we indeed need all the refugees there are in the world. There is simply too much need for labor sources. Although there are AIs, but right now there is still a need for workforces. And by taking refugees with no refugee restriction, both the economy of the host country and the citizens and the refugee will benefit. And also, since we have proven that we should accept all refugees, it's now only a matter of where to take them. And of course, we believe that it is better to take them to developed countries and have a better life quality than to live in developing countries. So, Judge, would you want to have the refugees live in miserable conditions in perhaps a camp with few food, no education? Or do you want them to live in developed countries with food, with family, with education, happily? And we believe it is better to have them to be in the developed countries. We believe we have fulfilled our framework that by having a refugee restriction, it is better for all factors. It is better for the country, it is better for the citizens, and it is better for the refugees. Thank you.